Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday Fox Stream. How y'all
Hello.
doing?
Hello.
I am joined by Joe Kim and Rob again, as is tradition. And today we have lots of
Pretty
cool
good
stuff to go
tradition.
over. It's a good tradition. Um, so since our last stream, we crossed the $200,000 barrier, which is pretty cool. Or maybe we did it right before last stream. I don't remember. There are 2 weeks left in the campaign, so we're gonna do some more streams. Our next one's gonna be Monday, and we have exciting collaboration news to go over. But first, the question that everybody has. It's the riddle.
What about the relic
The
riddle?
riddle.
So we had riddle number 8. You're in a town with some weird characters. Which one do you think has the most XP? I don't know if you all guessed this one.
Most
Uh,
HP.
Most HP?
Yeah, you said most
You said
XP.
XP, but
Oh,
you
HP,
meant-
whatever. I mean,
Yep.
fine. So you would notice if you were an attentive solver that each of these monsters has a number in it. And if you just browse quickly, you'll see 8, 9, 10, and 11. But if you look closer, there's an extra TY in K9. So they actually have 90 HP and not just 9.
That's what got me.
I did it wrong. I got bamboozled.
Yep.
Yeah, so a lot of people got bamboozled by this. We sincerely apologize for the sick burns delivered to your trivia score by these terrible things. 23% of the people who answered got it correct. 50% of people guessed the ukulele vendor, which is 11 and not 90, because 11 is less than 90.
Okay, well, prove it with math.
Change my mind. All right. So today's stream is all about our Fox announcements. So our friends over at Floral Frolic, who you will recognize as the artists of Good Puppers, and they've done lots of art for 1001 Odysseys. Well, they have done some cool things for us, and they're launching a plushie campaign later today, which has cool plush. I'm going to show plush. I'm going to type wrong. So today they are launching their backer kit campaign for the River Dragon and Underworld Jackal, which are cool plushies. They are adorable. They are super cool. Yeah, there was originally a green goo Goliath, which was Google, and that has way too many HP. But then I'm like, oh, I should change it up a little bit more. So yeah, so they're launching a campaign today for these cool plushies, and we are doing a crossover. I'm gonna show the pins first, or should I show the hero first?
You should know the pins first.
I would show the hero first because the pin won't make as much sense. Or
That's
I don't know.
true.
Yeah.
So we are adding a bonus hero to every single copy of the Abyssal Trove, which is obviously in the vault if you get the vault. The Foxfire. So the Foxfire is a hero. Her trickster's ways make her a formidable challenge for any foe who dares to pause her progress, and she'll use her versatility to overcome every peril she faces.
That's why you phrased it. I was like, why are there's so much key alliteration here? Why is he doing this?
It was a paw joke.
You knew why. You knew why the whole time.
I did not. Not until just this very moment. I'm so upset.
It's true. So the way this collaboration crossover thing works, this is just automatically in the game. There's nothing, you don't have to do anything. If you just want the Foxfire, she's in your Abyssal Trove, which is cool. But if you back both of the projects at least $15, because that's, I think, the lowest level they've got, and the lowest level we have is 17. So you will unlock the Foxfire pin, which will ship with your order from their project. And you can choose either red or blue. And this is the fox form of the Foxfire hero. So it's a cool shiny pin, 2 inches tall in hard enamel. It's rose gold or dark nickel with 2 clasps on the back. And if you've seen the Odysseys pins that we've had at Gen Con and PAX in the past couple of years, or the Puppers pins, those are the ones that Floral Frolic has designed. Their pins are awesome. You want it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna launch at 3 o'clock, and when they do, I'll send out an email. And if you're interested, by all means, poke over there and see if you like plushies, because plushies are cool. They've also got some pins for sale if you want to just back for a small thing. So let's look at the hero card itself. Heroes. So this is the Foxfire. This is one of my favorite pieces of art we've had in a while. It's still in progress. There's still a bunch of work to be done. The contrast levels are a little wonky right now. So it is not done yet. I'll project this over here. So she is a cool hero. And she uses the tokens from Relics. So you can play with her without it, but you'll need to mock up a crit token. But anybody getting the vault probably getting relics and will have those crit tokens, which is good.
Right.
So her heroic feat is change form. So if you have no dice here, store a black, a yellow, a pink, and a blue here. Otherwise, roll 1 die stored here. So on the very first turn of the game, she's going to store 4 dice there. And then each turn, she can use one of those dice. So she's sort of rotating forms between heroic, strength, agility, and magic. So you need to sort of plan out when you want to use which dice, which is a fun little choice. And her normal ability, Ninetales, lets you re-roll up to 4 dice, totaling exactly 9. So it can be 2 dice that's like a 4 and a 5. It can be 3 dice that are like 2, 3, 4, or it can be 4 dice that's say 2, 3, 3, 1. Nope, 2, 3, 2, 1. So you've got an opportunity to re-roll some bad dice, and if the new total of those re-rolled dice is exactly 9, you get a free crit, which is really cool. Joe, you tried this out a bit last night. You can tell me how
I
cool
did.
it was.
It was really cool. Basically, it's the as soon as you get rolling, you basically it's probably honestly too strong because
It might be.
you're just always
Yeah,
you're always re-rolling your dice.
it's a promo character, so they are slightly juiced.
Yeah. But it is fun and it's very interesting, I think.
Yeah. And this is obviously my first design pass on it, so there's surely more work to be done. But I love the concept of tying in the dice, the 9 tails that she has, and the change form for her fox form.
So how do you
fun.
find the frequency of like re-rolling dice and getting exactly 9? Like, would you say it's on the lower end, so you're not just like critting free, getting free crits all the time?
I can in fact tell you.
Yeah, getting 9 is happened very few times in the multiple runs I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a bonus. Like if it happens, awesome, right? But otherwise, like especially if you're rolling 4 dice, you're just gaining value.
Yeah, because you're probably rolling crap.
Yeah. And that's with your normal like starting dice. As soon as you add a couple items and you get 3 or 4 more dice, you're almost every turn going to be doing it, which is probably too much. And like it's fun and it's really strong, and like the choices that you have to make are like, ooh, like I have enough for a 9 but like one of these is a number I like or is a color I like. And so like is this decision worth it? And it's like probably is the answer, just because on average you're going to roll better with 4 dice than we are with 3. But the crit is like it's cool if it happens, if it doesn't, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, numbers wise, it is an 11% chance with 2 or 3 dice, and it is a 5% chance with 4 dice. It is actually slightly more likely to roll a 9 on 3 dice than it is on 2, because probability is funny.
And sorry, I should not. I know I shouldn't call them crap rolls. I should call them suboptimal rolls.
Well, I mean, no, 9 is a pretty decent crap roll. You just have to hit the point. All right, 7 out, everybody.
I'm
Bye.
gonna take tomorrow and Friday off. This is gonna be a long weekend starting now, actually.
Suddenly, oh no, our stream has been flagged for gambling. Uh, immediately banned from the front page.
I know, right?
We've been demonetized.
Oh no, our huge Twitch revenues. What will we do?
Not our Prime subscribers.
Yeah. By the way, everyone, use your Prime subscriptions right now. You'll buy me a Coke in like 5 months. I don't drink Coke. Gross.
Maybe you'll get 20 cents off of shipping, $100 or more.
Yeah. Go and use your Twitch Prime subscription on someone who is actually a streamer that needs it. Because Twitch revenues are kind of lame right now, and yeah.
They're bad. Yeah.
It's a problem. I feel bad. September was this amazing concept a few years ago, and like it just was this revolution of gift subs, and everyone was like, this is amazing, and everyone was super happy, and Amazon's like, wait a second, we're not profiting enough this month. Let's shut this all down. Oh well. So yeah. TwitchCon is what, next week or something?
Yes.
Yeah. It's this week. Wow. Well, I hope everyone there has some fun. So yeah, that is our Foxy news. I'm going to queue up our riddle because we have a new riddle, as is tradition. Manage my project. I'd love to. I wish there was a way to do this before the stream, but there is not. I have to manually cut and paste and screenshot the image, throw it into Photoshop, and then make an image out of it. And then I can put it on the stream.
Just lovely crowdfunding backend stuff.
You know. So, Relic Riddle number 9. We all know what the fox says, but what does the Foxfire say? In particular, which would be most appropriate to start off a new year? We've got always number juice boxes, Jolly Foxmas Meadow Folks, oh no, dragons, or jumping, act sassy. Everyone always acts sassy. So this one will be up until our stream on Monday. And I wish everyone good luck on this one. It's not quite as tricky pitfall-y as the last one. We are now down to 2 people who have perfect scores. I sincerely apologize to everyone who got wrecked.
Who lost on the last one?
Yeah.
Yep. It's me. I'm eliminated.
Sorry, friends. Yeah, you know what's gonna happen. I'm waiting for the hate mail to roll in. We'll see.
If somebody is getting that bent out of shape out of
no.
what is a free little game that we're
No, I think it'll be perfectly tongue-in-cheek hate mail. I don't want any more real hate mail. People are weird about diversity in gaming.
Oh, yeah.
Leave it at that. All right, so that's all of our cool announcements. Oh, immediately we get a bot in chat that gets banned. Great.
The only other thing I'll say is, you notice how these people who get mad, they never seem to have the fortitude to actually come to us at a convention to express their grievances.
Oh gosh, have I ever had somebody do that at a convention? I mean, we've had a few weird interactions at booths in the past. There was, yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that specific interaction.
Yeah,
No.
nobody's come to like just flat out like
Mm-hmm.
complain to us about something in our games.
We've had
or-
lots of compliments about it, but
I've had like one or two.
We've had people come up to us and be like, "Hey, so we think maybe your rule books look bad." And they're
Oh,
talking to
yeah,
the
no, no,
person
no.
who designed the rule book, and it's like, "We could
Yeah.
do it for you." It's like, no, we're good, thank you.
No, I've had plenty of art complaints over the years, but I have not had anybody play the "Why are all your heroes women" card at a convention. I want to say we got one or two back when Dungeon first released, and then they sort of gave up.
It would not go. It would not go well for them.
I
yeah,
did
definitely
hear
not.
somebody make a snide comment they thought was out of earshot after they walked away from the table about, they're like, oh, and the heroes are all women. They're like, ugh. I'm like, oh my God, how sad are you?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Continue enjoying your miserable day.
Yeah, no
Yep.
kidding, right?
Hey, look, it's a table with a printed out Foxfire on it, courtesy of FedEx.
Ooh.
I drove over there and spent 75 cents to print a
That
page.
appears to be a piece of paper that has been folded over many times. Is
I
that
don't
accurate?
know what you're talking about. There's no way this is a Smith on the back. So
I'm so glad I was able to deduce that from the camera.
Oh, I could not tell that from that angle.
I
to be
listen.
honest.
I am very happy with my taped over job here. Like I think it's very passable.
We could ship that.
for you.
We could ship
Yeah.
that out. No complaints.
So I will note that I am now away from the computer. So if there's chat questions, please relay them to me.
Yeah, we got it.
Yes, of
Via
course.
the voice. I in fact see somebody has said something with a very long name.
Yeah, John
Just
Eggs and
said-
Hammond said they missed the riddle chat, but gotta say this last one was a real nightmare for my second guessing tendencies.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
same thing. I kept thinking that I was missing something, and in fact, I was. So
So
right there we go.
yeah, if I will pop the image back up. Real quick. Oh, it didn't. That's the
No,
wrong
because
thing.
you typed relics. Yeah.
Yeah. So the trick here was that 90 with TY from Tycoon was in fact the HP number for the K9 Tycoon. And a lot of people just saw the 9 and jumped to conclusions and tried to go fight a ukulele vendor. And that's just like, what are you doing? The ukulele vendor's just there with the vibes, cool vibes.
Well, wait a minute. Weightless Fox. There's 8 less. So 8 less than what?
8 less than Fox. Something.
What's
Which leads
Fox
into the next question. What
See,
does
now-
the fox say? Sorry.
See, we're getting to theoretical numbers of what the fox represents.
Hey, listen,
Exactly.
what does the Fox say as a card innovation?
It is.
It is.
It is.
So there's actually crossovers everywhere. Anyways,
I
I am
cannot
now.
believe that it's a card in innovation.
Hey,
Oh, I
Carl.
can.
Carl chooses a unique set of things.
I laughed
When you know
so
Carl,
hard.
you
When I saw that
expect
on the-
everything.
When I saw the card manifest, I was like, no way. It was so funny.
Yes way. Actually, I'm gonna show one more thing because I updated. So where? Get out of here, InDesign. Stop being stupid. No, I didn't want the whole innovation box. I wanted the cards from Relics. Please, no. Here we go.
What is
so
he doing?
we updated the Luminous Chime. It was
Yeah.
previously, because Joe had been testing and I've been testing, and Luminous
It's
Chime was
horrible.
triggering just a little bit too much. It used to say reroll a die to gain a fuel. If the new roll is lower, repeat this effect. And what this meant is you rerolled a lot of high dice and got a lot of fuel very fast.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? We're here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yep.
Oh, I lost you after you said you re-roll a lot of high dice really fast.
And then he was doing something.
I was changing the card.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's not how I export InDesign. Yeah. Everything's fine.
Sorry, I'm in just a constant state of freaking out that Discord or Windows or Twitch or something is going to start randomly cutting off my mic or headset and make me restart everything. Because that is now what I'm conditioned to believe will happen.
Could happen.
It has several times.
Could be happening right now.
Oh God. You absolutely could prank me by both just being in the middle of like a conversation and you could just both dead stop, like plan it out, and I will just be like, God damn it, come on.
I would not. I don't like gaslighting my friends.
Yeah.
That's messed up. So
I do, but
okay, I'm here to protect you.
Abuse by pun.
all right. So Luminous Chime now says, reroll a die to gain a fuel. If the new roll is exactly one different, repeat this effect. So if your chime goes up or down a little bit, you keep rerolling, and you could get a bunch of fuel. It still keeps some of the thematic tie, but it takes away the ability for you to go kind
Have
of bonkers
infinite dice
with it.
rolls,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
Interesting.
It also means that if you reroll a 1, you are less likely to get a second reroll because you only have one way to go because you cannot go to 0.
Yeah. And if you roll a 1, you have to roll a 2 to get it, right? Because if you
Yep,
roll a 1,
yep.
it doesn't get it back.
Yeah,
And so like 2, 3, 4, 5 are the better rolls there, just to
right.
gain more fuel.
Mhm.
But it's like it's still way better than previously, where you were just like, I'm just gonna gain 15 fuel in one turn.
Right. So this is the relic I'm going to use. So I'm going to do a run with the Foxfire with this relic, which is in beautiful blue form on the table there. Because I did not print this card up at FedEx because I did not think about it. I probably should have. But anyways, without further ado, I go back to the table for playtesting adventures. Remember, everybody, hydrate. Look at this beautiful water card. What could it mean? Could mean anything.
For each blank.
For yeah, this card actually has no text on it. It's like for each triangle, comma something. Whoops. I have a water bottle full of ice. In fact, that's the wrong chime card. This is the right chime card in beautiful yellow marker. Oh God, that looks terrible on the camera.
Ooh.
Well, you all saw the card. I'm just gonna slide this off the screen.
Yeah, it's fine. We know what it's for.
It's good. I'm just gonna. There, you get a poison token. All right. So we are using the Foxfire, who has this cool ability, and I'm excited. I really like this hero just from a design perspective. It's enjoyable. It's unique, and that's what I like to do with the promo heroes if I can, because they're allowed to be a little bit more unbalanced because they're not the main game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want her to be like super overpowered because that's not fun. So spend 2 time. We'll open up 4 doors, arranged in beautiful form there. And then we will spend 2 time to open a door. It's a hook shot. I mean, hook's hot.
Hook's hot.
Aha. All right. So heroic feat. This is the first turn, so I'm going to store the 4 dice on the Foxfire. So I don't get to use them this turn. Probably I want to go at this using pink, although I only have the 3 dice. But the worst thing I'm going to do here is lose 5 time, which is not great, but it's not a disaster. So I'm going to go for that and roll these 3 dice. And
Only one above average. You could do it.
Yeah, not quite, because I need to use this 5 up here on the dungeon box, and I only have 6 left over. So
Ah, brutal.
spend 5 time, goodbye 5 time. But we finished the encounter. Um, ooh, nimbleness. Nimbleness is fun. So nimbleness is spend a pink die to roll a pink and gain a +2 token, which is pretty cool because it's essentially reroll a bad die and get an additional boost for something else. So we're going to go with that for skill. It's also usable on perils, which is super useful. I'm going to spend 2 more time for another turn. Oh, I didn't use the chime. Whoops. It's a knoll. We were discussing the chime only being usable on combat encounters, which, you know what? Why don't I test it out with this? I'll test the chime being
Uh,
only combats.
it might be better now that you're not running away with fuel. You're probably only gonna get like 2 or 3 a turn, which is more in line with what we wanted, right? So
It's still
it might be okay.
a free reroll for every peril is really, really good.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's pretty strong.
Um, like that's probably too good. All right. So the knoll is a small small enemy, so we're gonna be able to take this. We get 1 yellow dice, 3 pink, 3 blue. I'm gonna use change form to get a yellow die for this encounter, which is fun.
That
Um,
is fun.
It is fun. Like that choice is neat. Like I'm a little bit short on yellow, so I'm gonna do that this time. So now we've got the chime. So we don't have any 2s or 3s. We only have 1s. And I really want to re-roll that pink one. But first, I'm gonna nimbleness it. So I'm gonna use this to nimbleness. I roll a different pink die, which is a 2, and I gain a +2. And we're just gonna use poison tokens as +2s for right now, because I don't actually know where my tokens went. Um, so now we can chime the 2, which is much better. So I'm going to chime this 2. It re-rolled a 2, but we do get 1 fuel.
Nice.
Whoops. We have 1 fuel. Great. Good job. Nice work.
Isn't that supposed to be black over there for the fuel?
The new forge rules where you can use any die to represent fuel.
Oh, all right.
What I realized is that forcing the black dice to be over there was a little bit too restrictive on your black die pool in some unfun ways.
Got it.
So, all right. So we can fill in this armor box. We can fill in this armor box. Actually, it doesn't matter. Then we have 8, and then we have 5, and these 2 will become a black 4, and then this will become a blue 3, and go on to the health box on the dungeon card, and we just have 1 time up here. So we spend 1 time. We beat a knoll. Do
Huzzah.
I want another sword? I guess I do. I want more yellow dice. 1 additional strength. All right. So we're going to continue in the dungeon. I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to flip over this card. It is an eruption. And this is the new version of the eruption, remember, where Deflect Barrage down here has 3 5 boxes
Yeah.
for yellow. That being said, we're certainly facing this with agility.
Dash through. Yeah.
So we've got our 3 dice. We take a damage just for dashing through. And I'm going to use this extra pink die because that's smart. And I'm going to do it. Oh, I also didn't use 9 tails in that fight.
Oh yeah, you can use 9 tails here. Well, but
in theory, depending on what you roll.
Yeah.
All right. So, ooh, okay. So that's interesting. So I could re-roll these 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
I could also use nimbleness first.
Why would you re-roll the 6 rather than the 3?
Because I have to reroll dice totaling 9.
Oh, totaling exactly. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly
yeah.
9. Yeah, and they not at least 9. So
So
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
likely going to roll more than 9 with a reroll. And I don't care about the individual values because it's a large box 12. What I want is to get exactly a 4 to put into the box over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I rolled exactly 9.
Yeah. All
You get a
right.
crit. You get a crit. That's huge, actually, though.
Joe, why are you not good at this game?
You shut your. I hate you so much.
Just like I've never rolled any 7s. All right, so I get a free crit
Yeah,
token, which is going to be this potion. Which means that we're good. So we put the 5 up here, and then we've got a black 7, and then we're over 12. So that's Nine Tails being fun. So literally the first time I use it on stream, we get the crit. That
so upset with
is
you.
so hilarious.
Great for demonstration purposes.
It is. It is. So
I'm
that's
so
the
YouTube
fun.
comments are going to be like, "This is rigged."
It is rigged. I'm saying that it's rigged. Get in the comments.
But that's a fun, like, oh my god, it actually happened moment, as opposed to like, yeah, it's sort of that thing where you're hoping for a miracle. But even without that, it did actually redistribute the dice a little bit in a fun way. So we get this. It is worth 4 experience. I think we're gonna take it as XP. I don't have the XP level cards out. Whatever. I'm just gonna stack it here because that's easy. All right. Spend 2 more time. We're gonna open this last door. It is a great spirit. So this is a great time to use the blue die on change form to do the bottom part. I love the change form ability. It's so fun to be like, oh, I got to use this die here, and it's just a fun thing. So I'm gonna roll these 4 dice. We got not the best, so we don't actually have exactly 9, so we can't use Nine Tails because we only have 6, 7, 8.
Mm.
There's not really anything we can do. So I'm gonna put this 4 up here, and we're gonna take 2 damage and 4 time. Bonk.
Brutal. That's super unlucky.
Bonk.
And there was nothing to chime either.
Well, I was testing out the concept that chime's only usable on combat encounters.
Only combat.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dang, and there was no way to invest those dice in the forge.
No.
That's a tough turn.
I don't think it's good for the relics to be usable only in encounters of one type. I think that just it removes a fun factor from those other encounters, unfortunately. But we get this. So I'm going to actually take this as an item and redirect this to experience, which gives it 6 experience to level up. So now we have 4 magic. So we level up, which means our forge output goes up to a little bit more. We only have 1 fuel right now anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we do get another token on the potions. All right, so looking at that first set of turns, definitely. I'm gonna get some water about this.
Yeah, think on it.
Thanks to the magic of wireless headphones, I can walk across the kitchen,
Gasp.
and you can still hear me. Amazing. So, what do we do with this beautiful luminous chime? Because I like the ability so much for combat encounters, but it is clearly too good for peril encounters. Just odds wise, if you can reroll a die every single peril, ignoring the fuel benefits entirely,
It's just so strong.
that is purely, yeah, that it doesn't unbalanced combat encounters to roll one die. But peril, since you're rolling very few dice and going for a total,
Hmm.
it changes the odds very, very strongly.
Very quickly,
Mm.
yeah. Just
Hmm. So what could
Do
it
you
do instead? Go ahead.
do you want to just um do you want to make one condition, like one action is specifically for encounters and one is for perils? Like if peril do this,
Mm,
if encounter do that, and restrict it that way.
that feels messy.
Mm-hmm. So, uh,
Yeah.
Like not
yeah, it's
no,
too
Would be
much
a
but
lot.
like
text.
Would be a lot of text. Yeah.
yeah.
So we could reevaluate this to we could change the condition. So it could be re-roll a 3, 4, or 5. So immediately you don't have quite as much upward mobility um, in a peril because you can't re-roll your 1 because you're always if you're failing at a peril you probably have a 1 in your pool and you're going to want to re-roll it. So if Luminous Chime instead changes to re-roll a 3, 4, or 5. Um, re-roll a 3, 4, or 5 to gain a fuel. And now, if the new roll is lower, repeat this effect. Reroll a 3, 4, or 5 to gain a fuel. If the new roll is lower, repeat this effect. Or we could keep the exactly one different.
I kind of like the one different.
Okay. I'm going to ignore the fact right now this is slightly too much text. So this is Relics.
Well, that's not a problem to worry about right now, anyway.
No, it's
Because
not.
like
It's
the
not.
design of the card isn't even.
It's a problem if
Sorted
we're
out.
at like 3 sentences for a skill.
Mm, yeah.
It's not a problem. I'm like 1 word overset, kind of, and not that bad.
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. So this is what we would say the new version of it is. Reroll a 3, 4, or 5 to gain a fuel. If the new roll is exactly one different, repeat the second. There's probably an easier way to say exactly one different. So let's try that out because I
If the
think
new roll is plus or minus 1, I would say.
yeah, that's later us.
Yeah.
It can be condensed, but the intent is if you go up or down by exactly 1, repeat it. You may repeat this effect. No, repeat this effect.
Repeat this fact, yeah.
Do not want you may. And then if you
Too much
didn't,
power.
if you didn't have a 3, 4, or 5 in your pool at that point, you just wouldn't do anything.
You wouldn't be able to do it, right?
Because the way it's read is re-roll it to gain a fuel. So if you don't re-roll it, you don't gain the fuel. Because English. Okay, I'm gonna let's run with that. And in fact, let's rerun that encounter. So let's say I re-roll these 4 dice. All right, I got 6, 3, 1, 1. And in fact, this is a pretty good example. So I'm gonna re-roll this 3.
The image is still covering up the.
Oh,
The chime is.
so nobody saw that I re-rolled the 3 into a 3.
Nobody saw the reroll. You're lying for all we know.
You could be cheating. This is
Yeah.
how it works.
He's definitely cheating to make himself look better so that I look like worse, way
Well,
worse. Whenever we talk about our gaming.
So we'll actually run this a couple times. So I'm getting 4 dice. I'm rolling at this 11 here. So in this case, God, Interesting choice. I think I reroll a 3. Or would I Foxfire first? To get 2 dice? No, that's dangerous. So I reroll a 3. I rerolled it into a 1. And then I can Foxfire the whole thing. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a disaster.
Wow.
All right.
Yikes.
So that first attempt was a disaster. Let's start the encounter again and see a different set of roll. So this is another modest roll. So 4, 3, 3, 1. So not enough to succeed as of yet. We're gonna re-roll a 3 into a 2. So that would trigger the chime.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm
So
gonna
you get
re-roll
your
the 3.
fuel and you get to reroll
Yeah,
again.
and that one would trigger the chime. So I get to re-roll again. And that did not trigger the chime, and now I have 7. So we completely failed the encounter, but we got some
But
fuel out of it.
you got some fuel, yeah.
So that's interesting. Let's try another attempt at it. So new round. 5, 5, 2, 2. So this again is not enough to succeed yet. I would Foxfire these ones, or I would Ninetails these 3 into. This is so close. Actually, this is enough to succeed now. So we would succeed. So that's good. I could have chimed this 3, but going down would then be this sort of death.
Yeah, you were just
spiral.
over the threshold to
Right.
be able to clear.
So that would be incorrect there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I see from this immediately is that it is not overpowered on perils,
No, I don't think so anymore.
but it is potentially useful on perils. The only It could be reroll a 2, 3, 4, or 5, but I almost feel like that's still too good. Like,
I mean, 3, 4, 5. That's
half the dice,
50%
right?
of the values. Yeah, I think that's plenty because the idea was to be able to use it 50% of the time, essentially, right? And so yeah, there might be more variance depending on what you've rolled, but on average, we're still hitting that 50% chance that you can't use it because you don't want to be able to use it all the time.
Yeah, the thing that's sort of throwing this right now is that we're using it with the Foxfire, who is a hero that rerolls dice a bunch.
Right.
So we've got 2 reroll effects. But I think this new version of the chime feels immediately more balanced.
Yeah.
But
well,
still
you know what
fun.
that means? That means Joe, get to testing.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun, dun.
that's the plan today.
All right, so we'll pretend that we got 3 fuel with our failure there. And then let's go to new encounters and see how this feels on other stuff. 2, 4, and open a door and 3 closed doors. It's our friend the Iron Snail. So here we have a choice. We can use this heroic die or we can save it for the next encounter. And I think we want the heroic die because we need more yellows badly.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm gonna reroll these.
And honestly, I feel like with the way that it's written, not using it feels like a waste of a turn.
It does a little bit, but the heroic die is kind of good. So this 1 is great. So the 1 can go on one of those for sure. Now, what's fun is on this hero, actually rerolling the 3 is great because we really want a 1.
Yeah.
So I'm going to chime this 3 immediately. And it became a 2. So we get a fuel. We get to reroll another 3, 4, or 5. I'm going to reroll this blue 3 into a 5. Great. That's 1 more fuel. So we got 2 fuel out of that, and we changed some dice around. This was I think this was a 3. Okay, so that felt good there. It felt like it terminated, which was good. Yeah. So now we still have Ninetails. We still have Nimbleness. I want some of these dice just cover up boxes now. So we've still got some 2s, some 0s that want to be 1s. So this is where Nine tails becomes fun because I actually want to see ones out of this. So I'm going to nine tails these 3 dice. I did not get any ones. I did not roll exactly a 9. Oh well.
Hmm.
But I can
Disappointed in a
use.
decent roll.
I'm going to use
Yeah.
nimbleness to reroll
Nimbleness is pretty huge. So.
this and get a +2, which is going to make this become a 6 to cover up this 6.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And then we've got 4 dice left. They're just going to become 2 black, black 2 and a black 3, which will cover up the remaining 2 boxes, but each of those will cost 1 time because they are covered up by not exactly 1. And we take 1 time from the dungeon box. It's not covered up, but we finish the encounter. Hooray! So overpower, probably a terrible skill considering we don't have yellow dice. I guess we're just going to take more blue dice right now because that's our life. Yeah.
She is
Honestly, just
very
getting
magical.
getting straight dice count is not bad, right?
Mhm.
Like, it's just the way that the rerolls work. So,
Spend 2 time, open a thing.
And as soon as you start the next
Ooh.
door, you'll be able to heroic feat again.
This is trouble.
this one's brutal just because of the armor, right? Like, it's hard to get
Mhm.
10. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're actually going to flee from this and open a different door entirely. It's dragon eggs.
Dragon
So
eggs.
this is now 3 separate boxes with 4 in it. We do have the problem though. Oof. Oof. All right, we're gonna try and avoid them. We're gonna see what happens. So we're gonna use our heroic feat to charge up the dice, but we don't get to use one this turn. I'm gonna roll these 3 dice and hope they're very good. We have a 6, a 3, and a 1. That is not what I would call very good. I'm going to use nimbleness to reroll the 1. It has become a 5, and we get a +2 token. So I think I'm also going to chime this 3. And the 3 became a 4, so we get a fuel. And then we have to do it again. Oh no, I'm going to reroll this 5 into a 4.
Okay, not the worst.
Got to do it again.
Oh dear.
And it became a 2. Oh.
The chime got us.
The chime got us, but I can boost this by 2. And we're going to cover up 2 of
See
these
that?
boxes.
Well, that's
So-
still not a bad turn.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Yeah, I will just say that I wonder if that feels a little bad. That really the only viable move there was to use the chime, and then because of the way the chime functions, you were forced to like roll yourself out of the dice that you actually needed.
It may need to say you may. I
Yeah,
don't.
it's
I
like,
don't like the
shouldn't you be
force.
able to elect not to if
Yeah.
it could actually hurt you?
I kind of like the pain on that though. Like that's the risk you take with a lot of the relics though. Like
I guess yeah. The question we need to ask is, are there just gonna be elements of using the relic where there's a double-edged sword?
It just feels
Like,
it
is
feels,
that intended?
It feels specifically bad when you only have a couple of dice for apparel. I think that's where this is a problem.
that's fair. I think, but I mean, yeah, because if it's an encounter, you have so much dice as whatever, right?
So
So-
the question is, should it be repeat this effect with that die, or but that gets ugly because you could tick up to a 6.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That may be a question that we have to answer in much wider playtesting.
Yeah.
Is to get a sense of people's reaction to like this, a situation like that
does
where
this
like
feel bad or not?
you've
Yeah.
actually rolled yourself.
Well,
It's compulsory that you've rolled yourself out of the advantageous situation you were in.
The other problem is something that I forget who even mentioned it, is that that is an innovation wording. Repeat this effect is innovation. We don't use that terminology anywhere else in One Deck Dungeon,
That's fair.
and it's probably pushing the upper limits of complexity, especially because there's an invalidated clause in the first half of this. If like certain things go certain ways, like you might not have a 3, 4, or 5 to reroll.
Mhm.
So I'm, as much as I like the chime going up and down and having fun, I'm inclined to remove repeat this effect and do something else there instead. If it goes up by 1 or 2, gain a second fuel. Might just be the
Yeah,
simple
I was
version
gonna
of this.
say just bonus fuel.
Yeah. So it becomes something like reroll a 3, 4, or 5 to gain a fuel. If it goes up by 1 or 2, gain another fuel.
And that's more of a risk reward of like, okay, I've only got one. I'm not gonna just keep being able to generate fuel and generate rerolls. So, do I want to do this right now or not? Like, what if this rerolls into a 2 or a 1, and I don't get the extra fuel, and I end up with a crappy die? But at least that's a choice, and it's not forced.
Yeah.
I also think there's something to be said for like yeah, it's fun to sort of get the chime rolling with like, you know, generating fuel and re-rolling over and over, but also like part of Dungeon's beauty and is in the simplicity of like, you know, the quick rolls, the quick decisions, going through stuff. Like you don't want to be sitting there for 5 minutes re-rolling the chime
Yeah,
and
you don't want
figuring out. You don't want to be stuck too much on one little mechanic because there's a few other things to take care of, and you want the turns to go pretty quick.
And the time does add up.
It does.
Yeah.
I did notice that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the new version. Reroll 3, 4, or 5 to gain fuel. If the new roll is exactly 1 different, gain another fuel.
Cool.
So you're gaining 1 fuel for sure. You might gain 2.
But it's just once per encounter or peril.
Is 2 fuel per encounter enough?
Kind of low.
Does this
like,
need?
I feel like 3 is the sweet spot, right? Like. Actually, I don't know.
How? So it's a 1/3 chance to gain a second fuel. Should it be a 1/3 chance to gain 2 more fuel?
Because it's going to take you at least 6, at
Turns to
minimum,
get-
6
yeah.
perils or encounters to get fueled up for the forge.
No, at minimum 12 because you might only get the 1. Or so at most.
No,
12,
right.
yeah.
What
At
I'm
most
saying
12,
is
yeah.
minimum is 6 if you get perfect, which is obviously by 1/3 chance each time, really statistically
There's a lot of turns.
insignificant. Yeah. So that feels a little underpowered. How about this? Oh, reroll a 3, 4. What if you just take the middle numbers? Reroll a 3 or 4 to gain fuel. If the new roll is exactly 1 different, gain that many fuel. So it's a smaller pool of possible rewards, but the rewards are greater. Potentially vaulting you to fueling the forge quicker, or you could miss and get nothing. But it's a little more feast or famine that way. So I think just 1 and bonus 1 is a little too slow. If you roll a 5 and you got a 6 and you got 6 fuel off of it, that's a lot. That's probably too much. But if you roll a 4 and you happen to get a 5, which is, you know, only a 1 in 6 chance.
Mm-mm-mm.
And that's if you're in a situation where you even want to reroll a 4.
Reroll a 3 or higher. If the new roll is exactly 1 different, gain its value in fuel. Is roughly.
That interesting.
Yep. Yep.
So okay,
So you
so
can
if I reroll
only ever get the 6 fuel. You can hit the nuts basically.
yeah.
But it
If you're
requires
deciding
you.
to re-roll a 5, which is risky.
Correct.
Okay. I kind of like that.
The other version of this, which I'm not as excited about because it is difficult to word, is reroll a 3 or higher, gain fuel equal to the difference. And that
Yeah.
is too gamey and not interesting enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't introduce little additional bits of math there.
My knee-jerk reaction to this is that this is even worse feast or famine.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, because I could roll, horribly off every time, and I'm just not my relic.
Yeah, that's the thing. Not getting the fuel at all, just for like we put that in because we originally felt Luminous Chime was too feast or famine with not getting anything, and then we added the okay get 1 fuel every time.
Granted, when you get your feast, it's awesome. But when you get but if you don't, this is gonna feel real bad. Like, and it's cool to have a reroll, to be fair, but like considering the relic's goal is to get fuel, and like if your odds of getting fuel are like getting it in 4s, 5s, and 6s or whatever, like it's gonna feel terrible to get 11 fuel and then just famine for like 4 turns.
Right.
Reroll a 3 or higher. If the new roll is within 1, gain its value. So this would also include equal.
Yes, that's better, I think.
Yes, this will proc half the time.
Yes,
unless you're rolling a 1 or a 6.
but that feels way better.
It was, no.
Reroll a 3 or higher. Yeah,
y-
unless you're rolling a 6.
If you roll a 6, you're getting it a third of the time. But why are you doing that's your own choice.
Yeah, that's your own mistake. So
I think this is interesting to try. So it satisfies the time problem. So the biggest problem we had is that roll.
right.
That's too much. One, that's gonna suck in digital. It's like 5 dialogue prompts.
Yeah,
Jean-Marc
holy
will
moly.
come and hit me with
Yell at us
a
about it. Yeah.
foam sword. Like, why did you do this? And I will be like, you were correct with that foam sword, Jean-Marc. That was a long drive, but
Yeah.
that was correct. Straight
Yeah,
from Canada.
we definitely will have deserved it for sure.
So this is simple. Reroll a 3 or higher. If the new roll is within 1, gain its value in fuel. Super simple. Question is it too good, too bad, or in the middle? And I think it will be fun.
There is still the scenario where you could be re-rolling you could be re-rolling some better die to try to finish off generating fuel and get nothing in consecutive turns.
Yeah. So I
But this is way
mean,
better. Like yes, it's possible, but I think it is significantly better.
it's a coin flip. So
Yeah.
1 out of every 8 times you will fail 3 times in a row, and that's that happens. But 1 out of every 8 times you will succeed 3 times in a row. So I think making it a coin flip will be okay. But we'll need to see. Like, you shouldn't be guaranteed fuel, and with this, over a span of 4 encounters, over a set of doors, um, you should hit on half of them, and so you'll be gaining roughly 6 to 8 fuel. So you will proc the forge every 6 to 7 encounters or so, which I think is what we want. And this is assuming you don't get any fuel from anywhere else, um, from skills or things.
Right.
So no, I think this is worth trying.
Sure.
So yeah, Joe, you were tasked with giving this a spin,
Oh yeah.
and we are around the time where we're going to end the stream. But that was super useful. So just to recap again, so this is the bonus pin that you will unlock if you back both our project and Floral Frolics plushies. Oh, that's all capitals, but it still works. So this campaign is launching. They're planning to launch at 3. I'm guessing they will launch around 3. But you never know. Sometimes things go wacky. And yeah, I will be sending out an update from this stream and other stuff, which will include all this information. It'll be on the page. And the Cross Collab project button appears on the right side of the campaign page all the time now. So that's neat.
Really like that Underworld Jackal.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Sits very nicely.
Cool plush.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks everyone for tuning in to today's dev stream. I think this was super productive. We got a lot of interesting concepts out. And I'm happy with where the chime is headed. And yeah, we will be back on Monday, I believe at 1 o'clock, maybe 2, depending on how things go. Until then, have fun dungeoning and other things.
No stream Friday, right?
No stream Friday.
Yeah. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Cool. Bye bye.
Bye.